Welcome back to the channel. So today we have got something very special to take a look at. This is the brand new Rochobby Toyota Landcruiser LC80. This thing looks absolutely fantastic. It is brand new. It's 1/18 scale, and I really do think when it comes to scale crawlers, this is going to be one of the very best we've seen so far. Let's get into today's video. Wow, it looks great. Now, I haven't even taken it out of the box yet. I don't even know what you get included in the box, but just from looking at the pictures, this thing looks epic. So I'm really excited about this one, as you can probably tell. Let's not waste any time. Let's get it unpacked and see what we get included in the box. Now, before we take a closer look at the truck, let's have a little look at what you actually get included in the box. Now, we get a tiny little 380 milliamp 2S LiPo, and even though this is small, this is going to give us about 20 to 30 minutes of runtime, which is pretty great considering the size of this pack. Now, the one thing I really like about this battery is the fact that they have included a full-size balance plug on this, which is definitely going to help if you do decide to actually charge this on a different charger compared to the USB charger that they actually include in the box. Now, moving on to that USB charger, it's not too bad, and it does actually have a decent power output. It's about 1000 milliamps an hour, which is going to be fairly decent, especially if you are using such a small pack. This is going to do the job absolutely fine. And moving on then, we get a cross wrench and a bind plug. We also get a black and white manual, which is quite basic, but it does cover all of your essentials and all of your operating procedures, and it's good enough to get you going. And finally, you've got a 3-channel transmitter, and on the 3rd channel, you will be able to switch your LEDs on and off, your LED headlights. You've got your usual throttle trim and steering trim, and this does take 4 AAA batteries to get you up and running. So we've had a look at what you actually get included in the box. Now, I think it's about time we take a look at the truck, because this thing looks absolutely fantastic. I'm extremely impressed with how good it actually looks. The level of detail is absolutely crazy. Guys, let's not waste any time. This is it. This is the brand new Rochobby LC80 Toyota Landcruiser. Here it is. It is epic. And here it is then. Now, I know I say it a lot on the channel, but this thing is seriously impressive. And when it comes to scale crawlers, I really do think this is one of the best I have ever seen. Now, we've got a nice plastic roof rack, which is going to come in handy if you do want to attach some scale accessories to really set this thing off to make it look, as realistic as possible on your trowels. Having that little roof rack there is a nice little feature. We also get a front bumper, which again is a very nice little feature. Definitely helps to set this model off. The yellow lights that you see here, they don't actually work, but I reckon with some modification you could actually get those working. We get a snorkel, and overall, the body just looks absolutely fantastic. It is a hard body, and it is actually screwed to the chassis, so it's not removable. But wow, it looks insane. Now, you do get a full-size spare wheel on the back, which again does help this thing look incredibly scale and realistic. Now, let's take a look at the tyres on this, because they are a very soft and squidgy compound, and they are really going to come in handy when you are on some rough terrain. They do look very grippy. Now it is a little bit difficult to see, but if we have a look inside, we have got a proper interior. We've got a steering wheel, and the dashboard has some good quality decals on it as well, which really does help make this thing look very realistic. So let's take a closer look at the electronics. Now, like I said, this does have a hard body and it is screwed to the chassis. Now, the only way to get to the electronics is to pop the bonnet or the hood for my American friends. So let's do that now, and we'll take a closer look at the electronics underneath. Now, this is where we've got our 2-in-1 receiver, our receiver and ESC unit, as you can see just there. Tiny little 20 amp ESC, and the receiver is built into that. We've also got our 9-gram servo just there. It's very difficult to see. There's a lot going on under the bonnet there, but that is our 9-gram servo, and that does have a power output of 1 kilogram. We've also got our on and off switch, and just behind the 2-in-1 unit is where your battery would sit. Now, it is nice knowing that the electronics on this are actually waterproof, so if you do decide to run through water, you are going to get on absolutely fine. Now, it is actually really difficult to show you all of the internal components because of the hard body, but if I flip it over onto its side, we can try and get a little idea of what's going on underneath. Now, if you look through there, we've got our 55 turn brushed motor, which is a tiny little micro motor, but again, this is a 1/18 scale vehicle. It's worth noting that this is 4-wheel drive. We've also got our shocks, which are friction. Now, does this feel bouncy? Yes, it does feel a little bit bouncy, a little bit springy, but it's going to do absolutely fine out there on your favourite trail. Now, we've got plastic drive shafts, we've got a high torque transmission, and we've got aluminium frame rails. This thing is starting to look like an incredible little package. Now, let's take a look at the LED lights on this. Now, I have actually got them turned off, but if you turn to the right, as you can see, the indicators do light up. If we turn to the left indicator works as well. I'll flip the truck around so you can see what that looks like on the rear. So there is your left, and there is your right. Now, if we click channel 3 on our transmitter, this happens. You get your fully working headlights, but not only that, you still get your turn signals as well, your indicators, left and right, everything works together, which looks absolutely fantastic. And again, I keep saying it, really helps when it comes to the realism and how, how scaled this thing actually looks. So if you are looking for an incredibly detailed, very well built crawler in this sort of price range, I really do think this is going to be one of the very best to go for. Up until now, I haven't found any flaws in this thing, and I am seriously impressed. Now, I think there's only one thing left to do, and that is what you're all here to see. Let's take this thing out. We're going to head out to the forest, and we're going to see how this thing actually performs. This is the part that I'm extremely excited about, because I cannot wait to see how this little truck actually gets on. This thing has got me seriously excited, because I think it looks so good. And there we go then. So this thing turned out to be extremely impressive when I took it out earlier on in the forest. Now I've driven a lot of different crawlers of various different sizes, but when it comes to 1/18 scale crawlers, I really do think this could potentially be the new king. Now I know that is a really big statement to make because there are so many scale crawlers out there, but when you look at what this actually offers and how, how much you actually get for your money, this thing really is the complete package, which does make me think this could potentially be the new king in 2021. I really do think this is going to be one of the very best scale crawlers you can buy this year. So we're going to leave the video there today. I really hope you enjoyed seeing this Rochobby Toyota Landcruiser LC80 in action. Very, very impressive little crawler. Offers so much for the money. And I really do think this is going to be number one. That's just my opinion. So be sure to drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think of this Rochobby crawler. Also like this video, and if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all the latest RC content. But apart from that, extremely enjoyable, very, very impressive little scale crawler. We're going to leave the video there today, and I'll see you again soon on the next one. Take care.